everybody, welcome to that vinyl channel. I'm that vinyl guy boss. This is going to be a thread response video from my good friend Chris Propfe over at his Musically Obsessed channel. So his thread, what he wants us to do is show some artists who have had successful solo careers after leaving a band or bands or whatever the case may be. So I do have 5 here that had varying successes, varying degrees of successes after leaving bands. So let me go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so the very first one here is going to be Steve Hackett. Now Steve Hackett was with Genesis. He actually released his very first solo album while he was still in the band Genesis. So, but he went on to have a pretty successful solo career. He released many albums. So, but this here is one of them, and I have a second one here. Well, I'm sorry, this one here is called Spectral Mornings. That's what that one is called. This one here is a later release from, I think, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. It's called The Night Siren. And he actually signed this one. He has this, I'll show you the signature if you're going to check that out. Very cool. But yeah, this here is The Night Siren. So that's 2 releases from him. So that's Steve Hackett. So the next one we're going to do is from a band called Pink Floyd. And of course we're referring to Roger Waters. Roger Waters left Pink Floyd and went on and had a pretty successful solo career. So what I have here is a live album. This here is Roger Waters' Chaos FM 1987. So that is one album that he has, and here is a really great album from him. This is the life. Is this the life we really want? So another great album from Roger Waters, but that is the second artist that I can think of. And the next artist here is from a band known as Styx. And so Dennis DeYoung, he released several solo albums. He's currently not in the band. He actually was, you might want to say he was driven out of the band, kind of, sort of. So right now Tommy Shaw and JY have the reins of the band, and Dennis DeYoung is not with the band anymore. That's okay. Dennis DeYoung is still putting out solo albums. So here was his very first one. Back in the 1980s, here is A Desert Moon. And this here is a later issue from him, which is called Boom Child. But he had a pretty successful solo career. Like I said, he's still putting out albums. So that's the next one. So this one here is Roger Hodgson. He actually was with Supertramp. And so he released some solo albums when Supertramp broke up. This one here is one of them. This here is In the Eye of the Storm. Really great release by him. It sounds a lot like Supertramp, but there are some of it that, Supertramp doesn't do a whole lot of hard rock. So this is a little harder. So, but it also sounds a little bit like Supertramp as well. So, but either way, that's the first one. And a second album from him is called, I'm not sure how this is pronounced. I think it's called Hi. It's Haihai. So I'm not sure what that pronounced, but that is him as well, Roger Hodgson. So there we go. That's another album that I have of him. But he's had, somewhat success, not a big success, but somewhat. He's been still putting out albums. So, and then the very last one I have here is Boz Scaggs. Now, Boz Scaggs started out with the Steve Miller Band, and then he went on his own, and he has had a whole string of hits. He's had a very successful solo career. This is the first album of his that I ever owned, which is Middleman. So a very, very great album for him. And this here is a more recent issue. Here is Dig, Boz Scaggs' Dig. So there you go. There are some albums that were released by artists who were in a band, later made some solo albums and had varying degrees of success. So thank you, Chris, for having this thread. And I do want to thank everybody for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time.